So you want to trade Forex. You've seen the charts, the profits, the freedom, and something about it pulled you in. But before you learn a single strategy, there's one question you have to answer first. What actually is this market you're about to put your money into? I know, it sounds too basic, but most people who lose money in Forex don't lose because of a bad strategy. They lose because they never really understood the market they were playing in. So that's what we're going to fix today. By the end of this video, you'll understand what the Forex market really is, how it works, why it's the biggest market on the planet, and the one currency that quietly controls almost everything inside it. No jargon, no complicated theory, just a simple, clear picture that makes every lesson after this one click into place. So stick with me, because this is the foundation everything else is built on. So, if this kind of content helps you, take a second to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so the next lessons reach you the moment they go live. And feel free to share in the comments which topics you would like us to explore in future videos. And if you want to support the channel on a deeper level, consider becoming a member to unlock exclusive content and help keep these lessons coming. You'll also find links to our trusted partners in the description below. Using them costs you nothing, and it directly helps the channel keep producing free educational content like this. Let's start with the name, because the name actually tells you what it is. Forex is just short for foreign exchange. Sometimes you'll see it written as FX. And at its core, it's the simplest idea in the world. It's the exchange of one currency for another. That's it. No complicated definition needed. And here's the thing. You've probably already done it. If you've ever traveled to another country and swapped your money for the local currency at the airport, congratulations. That was a Forex trade. You handed over one currency, you got another one back at a certain price. And that price, that exchange rate, is the exact same thing traders are watching on their screens every single day. Now, of course, tourists at the airport aren't what moves this market. The real weight comes from the giants, the massive international banks, global companies paying each other across borders, governments, central banks. They're moving enormous amounts of money around the clock. And then, sitting right alongside all of them, there's us, regular traders, trying to catch a piece of that movement from a laptop at home. And here's something that surprises a lot of beginners. Unlike the stock market, there's no single building where all of this happens. There's no trading floor, no opening bell. Forex is completely decentralized. It's one giant electronic network, connecting banks, institutions, and traders all around the world, all dealing directly with each other. So when you place a trade from your phone at home, you're plugging straight into that same global network the giants are using. But here's what makes Forex really different from something like stocks. When you trade Forex, you're not buying a company. You're trading one currency against another. The euro against the dollar against the yen. It's always a pair. One currency on one side, another one on the other. So you're never just asking, is this going up? You're asking, is this currency getting stronger than that one? Hold on to that idea, because it's going to come back constantly. Let me make that real for a second. When you see Euro USD trading at, let's say, 1.10, all that number is really telling you is how many dollars it takes to buy 1 euro. In this case, $1.10. If that number climbs, the euro is getting stronger than the dollar. If it drops, the dollar is winning. That's the whole game. Two currencies pushing against each other, and a single price that tells you who's ahead right now. Okay, let me give you a sense of just how big this market is, because honestly, it surprises almost everyone. Forex is the biggest financial market on the planet. Not one of the biggest, the biggest. We're talking about $9.6 trillion changing hands every single day. Every day. And that's not a number I invented to sound dramatic. It comes from the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements, from their official survey back in April of 2025. And if that number is just too big to picture, let me put it another way. The world's largest stock markets don't even come close to that kind of daily volume. Forex dwarfs them. So when people say this is the most liquid market in the world, this is exactly what they mean. There's an ocean of money flowing through it at every hour of the day. And that size actually works in your favor. Because there's so much money moving, there's almost always someone on the other side of your trade. You can get in and out quickly, The cost of trading the major pairs stays low, and prices tend to move more smoothly instead of jumping all over the place. That's a real advantage, and it's one of the reasons Forex is such a good place to learn how to trade. Here's another thing that sets Forex apart. Unlike the stock market, it never really closes during the week. It runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. When traders in Tokyo are going to sleep, London is just waking up. And when London starts to wind down, New York is already in full swing. The market basically follows the sun around the planet, passing from one financial center to the next. The only real pause comes on the weekend, when the major financial centers close their doors. But from Monday morning in Asia all the way through to Friday evening in New York, the market is always awake somewhere in the world. It never truly stops. It just moves from one time zone to the next. Now, that 24-hour clock is a much bigger deal than it sounds, and it's going to become one of your most powerful tools, because it turns out that when you trade matters almost as much as what you trade. We're going to dedicate a whole part of this series to these trading sessions a little later on, but for now, just plant that seed in your mind. This market has a rhythm. But if there's one single fact I want you to walk away with today, it's this one. Out of all that money, all 9.6 trillion, the US dollar is sitting on one side of almost 9 out of every 10 trades. 89%. Just let that sink in for a second. The dollar is like the main character of this entire market. Almost everything revolves around it. And that's not just trivia. It actually changes how you'll trade. It's the reason the New York session hits so hard. It's the reason a single piece of US news can shake every chart on your screen at the very same moment. And it's the reason the currency pairs we'll focus on in this course all contain the dollar. Once you really see the dollar sitting there in the center of everything, the market stops feeling random, and it starts to feel like something you can actually read. And this is exactly why traders all over the world obsess over the United States, why they stop and watch the moment the US Federal Reserve speaks, or hang on every number when American jobs data comes out. When the dollar sits on one side of nearly every trade, anything that moves the dollar sends ripples through the entire market, even pairs that seem to have nothing to do with the US. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, because that's how we do things on this channel. Knowing what the market is doesn't make you a trader yet. It won't tell you when to buy or when to sell. That part comes later, and we'll build it up piece by piece. But you would be amazed how many people lose money simply because they never understood the ground they were standing on. They treat Forex like a casino, when really it's the largest, most liquid market on Earth, a market with a rhythm you can learn to read. So let's answer the question we started with. What is the Forex market? It's a global 24-hour marketplace where currencies are always traded in pairs, and it's built almost entirely around the US dollar, a market that never sleeps, with the dollar right at the center. Keep that picture in your head, because it's going to come back again and again as this course goes on. So, trader, if this video brought you more clarity, like it, subscribe, and turn on notifications so the next lessons reach you. And tell me in the comments what you want me to cover next. And if you want to go deeper, you can become a member of the ComLucro trader community right here on YouTube. It unlocks exclusive content, early access, and extra tools for your development, while directly supporting the channel. You'll also find our trusted partners linked in the description. Using those links costs you nothing and helps us keep producing this kind of educational content. And remember, the mission of the ComLucro channel is simple. We help traders build clarity, confidence, and structure, so every decision is made with discipline and intention. Here you'll find complete courses built as a true trading masterclass. Liquidity, market structure, higher time frame analysis, and supply and demand. Always focused on reading price and executing with a professional mindset. We also cover trading psychology, risk management, and long-term consistency. Because trading isn't just about charts. It's about mindset, discipline, and execution over time. Our main courses include smart money concepts, ICT, technical analysis, trading psychology, and Wyckoff. Alongside that, we share insights from respected traders whose work helps you understand how markets really behave. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.